Good afternoon guys, and welcome to our first online training session. We're going to start off with a nice simple one, how to fold the restaurant napkin. So start off with the napkin, and we're going to fold it a third upwards and flatten that out so it's nice and sturdy, and then fold the top a third down and make sure the crease is nicely in the middle. We're going to fold the bottom up by around about 1.5 inches, and then the same again. And then the top we're going to fold down, but we're going to fold this at half the size. The reason for this, as you'll see in a minute, is the napkin covers up the larger square that we just formed at the bottom. So lift the smaller side up and then push with your hand just at the back and form a crease over the larger square that we've formed, and then flatten that out. You should see as the small crease should be showing directly in the middle of the napkin. So if it's popping up like that, just press it down, turn it over, give it a bit of a fiddle, and that should flatten out now. And that's how I want all the restaurant napkins. They should all look the same, and if you do it that, they'll be the same every single time. So now that one's done, we're going to start on the room service napkin. Start off in the same way, but this time instead of a third, we're going to fold it in half. I'm going to fold it again in half, left to right, and as you can see, this has formed a rectangle going up. We don't want that, so we want to flip it over, and then the sealed sides are on the left and at the bottom. So I'm going to take the top right hand corner, we're going to fold it in and all the way back as far as you can, so it's almost a diagonal straight across the middle of the square, sorry. And then we're going to take the next bit about 1 inch apart and fold that back as well. That's the trickiest bit done. So we're going to flip the napkin over, so the sealed sides on the right hand side and the bottom, and then we're going to fold it back a third, flatten it out, and then we're going to fold it right to left a third as well. And then the bottom corner, sorry, we're going to tuck in, make sure it's nice and secure. Flip it over, and then you've got perfect room service napkin. Obviously the napkin's designed so it can hold cutlery without the cutlery falling out, and if you do it this way it'll be the same every single time, which is what we're looking for, obviously consistency in everything we're doing. Perfect, so there we have room service and dinner napkin. Now we're going to learn how to fill up the sanitizer properly. So you need an empty sanitizer bottle. If there's anything in there, just throw it down the sink and then just fill it up with water until it's almost to the top. Sanitizer is the purple one, and we find this in the kitchen just by the sink, as you can see there. Now to use the white handle, if you try it, it won't open. You need to look underneath. There's a little green switch. Push it up till you hear a click. Then pull the white lever backwards, make sure the bottle's underneath it, because that'll be an accident, and then push it down. You need 1 squirt of the sanitizer, and that's it. It's important to put the sanitizer in after the water, because if you put it in first, then fill it up with water, it's just going to foam everywhere, it's not going to be the right mixture, and you're just going to waste a load of it. Pop the nozzle back on, and there you go. Obviously tighten it up. So now we're going to set the table for breakfast. The most important part of setting the table for breakfast is making sure it's clean. So we're just going to wipe down the table. You can squirt the sanitizer into the napkin or directly onto the table, wait 3 seconds and wipe it that way. It's completely up to you. So setting for breakfast, this is how I want all the tables to be set. So we start off with a side plate on the left hand side, just up from the bottom, nothing on the edges of the table, and then a side knife on that plate as well. Then we have a breakfast napkin. They start off as a square, just fold them into a rectangle, and then we need a large spoon, large knife, and a large fork on there as well. Make sure your cutlery is all perfectly polished and presented well. If there's any marks on it, get a napkin and polish it up at the table. So we want 1 mug with a teaspoon in it, 1 little plate for the spare tea bags or used tea bags, A nice fresh salt and pepper, make sure they're full, and the salt and peppers are wiped down and clean. A sugar bowl should have half white sugar, half brown sugar, and some of the sweetener in there as well, and one of the menus. Obviously this is half the table set, we do the same on the other half. Now we're going to set for dinner. So we start off with dinner with a large fork and a side fork as well, the left hand side of the table. We want a large knife and side knife on the right hand side, leaving the gap for the napkin. Make sure the cutlery is not right to the bottom of the table. We don't want it right on the edge, but you don't have to do the whole finger markup or anything like that. Just make sure they're all level. So the large cutlery should always be higher than the small cutlery. They should be level at the bottom. So pop your napkin between them. You can start off with your napkin if you want to, because it might be easier for the spacing. So make sure your polished wine glass is always dead in front of the large knife, and then your water glass is just off to the right hand side underneath that. Then we want the salt and peppers, and we want a menu again, and that completes the table. And that's how I want all the dinner tables set again. Obviously this is half, you'd complete for the second half. So thank you very much for watching, and tune in for more training sessions soon.